We are legends.
Hello and welcome to We RRR Legends, the unofficial podcast for DC Legends Mobile. I am Slow Beast. With me as always is Hate Mail. In today's episode, we talk about Martian Manhunter. We have an interview with SuperHarleyQuinn, crazy team comps with Ogrebarberian, as well as a bonus interview with Mrs. Ogre, and an origin story.
Breaking news.
Alright, and joining us now, Ogre's here. We wanted to mention real quick the Martian Manhunter $99 pack that dropped. It's kind of a big surprise. Everyone was expecting Constantine. Ogre, what'd you think about that?
Yeah, and I was expecting Constantine too. I thought that we would have, to wait till the end of the month for Martian Manhunter.
Sure. So,
honestly,
do you think it was a poor move on their part to drop it so soon? I know there was a lot of angry individuals, especially the higher alliances, that pushed really hard.
I think it was kind of not a great move, definitely. I'm not going to say it was, a bad move, because obviously there's people that bought it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm going to say it was a bad move.
I think it was definitely not the move that they should have made. I was waiting for him to have the very last sale of the month.
Sure. And Hate, you obviously feel like it was a bad move.
I was not happy with this move. I mean, it didn't affect me as much personally because we were top 10 alliance. We weren't pushing for number one, and we did push pretty hard during the week. And I know some of our alliance mates who weren't as worried about getting him legendary 4 or 5 were pretty upset because we thought, and I think the general consensus for any of the whales and the super whales in UGLA, I'm sure they were very miffed. I know Alexi wasn't happy. They they spent a ton of money. It costs a lot more to farm and get those tiers than it would to just buy the $99 pack.
Right.
So while they did say, and I was surprised that some of them were a little unhappy that it was in the completion reward for the group each day, because you could get quite a few shards, more than you could get off the initial push. They actually announced that, and so I'm surprised. Some people were surprised by that. Maybe they're surprised by the quantity, but I still felt like that was fine the way that was set up. But the people that pushed really hard on those expected to have, all the whales know that whenever they do these events or different things that you can purchase different characters for, usually you have a period of time that you can gear a character. And I know in my case, I didn't even have time to gear out Martian Manhunter before pack was released. And a lot of us were starved for gems, so those of us that didn't buy too many were waiting for what we assumed was the Constantine tail to finish gearing out Martian Manhunter if you didn't have the mats pre-saved. So you kind of got rid of the whole exclusivity of having him early.
Right. You worked so hard as an alliance, as a team, came together to get your shards early so you could have that experience of gearing them out and using them early and that bonus, and now they just took that away real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this was probably a learning experience. Maybe they thought they'd push it out early and people would be happy that they could get their hands on it, but I think it upset a lot of the big spenders, and those are the people that keep the game going, so you probably don't want to upset those people that much.
All right, so speaking of Martian Manhunter, I know you did finally gear him out, Hate, and you have a recommended legendary order for us?
Yeah, before we start talking about them, I'll just go with the order that I would probably recommend. 1 and 3, I feel, are the two. 1, 3, and 2 are probably the most important. I would go with number 1 over 3, and I know a lot of people think 3 should be first, but that call assist is really what makes his kit so powerful, because he does so little damage, and he's a control character, so you really don't expect him to do a ton. But that call assist is really, having that on his basic makes it his bread and butter. His 3 is useful, but he doesn't do damage on his 3. And I know it says heavy damage, but I'm not sure where the word heavy comes into it.
Right, sure.
It is almost no damage.
That 5 buff removal that can't miss, you don't think that's, even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, that doesn't entice you?
It's useful, but I would take the call assist over it, personally. Okay. Just based on using him a ton today. And granted, I haven't used him, I haven't had a whole week of playtime, but I played a gazillion matches with him today, and I think a lot of people that have been playing with him probably would agree. Some people like the leadership earlier. If you're running one of those old school Deathstroke characters dying to get the awareness team, that might be useful. But I personally would take it last just because I don't like to have my characters die. So you might want to push that up earlier. Having the on his 2, I just blanked out what his 2 was.
Debuff immunity.
Oh, debuff immunity. That one's extremely useful as well. So you want that one pretty early because that allows him to not get different debuffs like bleeds that would strip off his awareness. So that does help protect him from those bleeders. That is usually the quickest and easiest way to get rid of awareness. His 4 for the invisibility. Haven't found that to be that useful for this particular character since he doesn't gain a whole lot of extra abilities. And you almost sometimes you want him to be your tank or the person that they hit because he's usually stacked up with awareness. So that's the order I would probably go with. Ogre, do you have any different thoughts on that?
No, I think that he basically follows the same thing that like Hal Jordan would follow. You want the assist, and then you want the purge, and then you want to go from there. Just based on how you use him.
Now I know I asked you, and the reason we had you on earlier and decided to forego the crazy team comps because you had sent me back that he fits into just about any team. What's your thought process on that?
Well, it's not that he fits into just about any team. It's just that he doesn't need a particular team composition to make him work well. His kit is entirely self-contained. Like, there's really not a lot of way to like buff his abilities or anything like that I can really see, other than giving some int ups or something like that to give him a boost to his damage on his basic, or even strength ups to give him some extra damage on his 3. But other than that, like, he doesn't really need any particular team composition, I don't think, to be useful. He's going to do his job.
When he's
just like Hal Jordan to me.
I have Legendary 4 Gear 11 and been playing him a ton today, and I have to say I strongly disagree with that because on paper that definitely sounds, but when you're using him, honestly, I'm not real impressed with him. With Poison Ivy, he's a very good character because being able to copy those awareness across your team is great. But unlike Hal Jordan, he does virtually no damage. I mean, he does. I don't think even Superboy does better damage than he does.
Wow.
So he does, and which is okay because he has a kit that does different things. But removing the buffs is not bad. But you have so many other characters that do a better job of removing buffs, and they'll also add usually some debuff or buff immunity, which he doesn't do. And then his stun is 80%, which I know Hal Jordan's is gated by his shield, but that 20% of the time you're still going to miss, which isn't a huge, 80% is still a good number. But you also have to have awareness on him, which awareness can fall off if he doesn't have his, if he doesn't get his debuff immunity. Honestly, I haven't been overly impressed with him. He is fun when a controller type comp, like I said, with Poison Ivy. And when I was running with Poison Ivy, the videos you'll see in this is Poison Ivy and DOJ, so I can spread the awareness around. You can win a lot of matches. They are, if you like the control-y, slow teams, it works pretty well. But when I try to throw him in teams outside of Poison Ivy and running with DOJ to kind of maximize his awareness use, I find he's just dead weight on the team.
That's fair.
I don't
honestly, the one thing that I was thinking about using as a comp, just the Cole Assist comp, since his basic can randomly dish out awareness to somebody.
Yeah, I did that. I actually ran that a couple times. I did Hal Jordan. I was using a different comp with Hawk Girl, Batgirl, and Hippolyta. And that worked okay because it would spread a little bit of awareness. But the problem is you don't get enough awareness for it to really be impactful.
Yeah. Yeah, just one's not quite enough.
Right.
And then same thing with his
it's
death.
only like a 75% chance.
And that's the same thing with his deaths. If you have him as leader, I took all but his 5. And I think if you do take his 5, I did watch a video of somebody playing against a team that he was Legendary 5. And it was, a revive team. And you were seeing a decent amount. And they also had Poison Ivy on it to help. It didn't matter who she copied. The AI is usually not bright enough to pick Martian Manhunter. And that seemed to work pretty well. But it made the match, painfully long. But the person was still able to kind of chew through it. The few times I faced him, he was not even remotely an issue. I know on Jalapeno's video that he was worried that he was going to get buffed because of the awareness spreading. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all, just based on playing him and playing against him. I almost think he needs a buff.
Yeah. I haven't really played against him yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fun, interesting character, but he's definitely not very powerful, and I think you do have to kind of cater to around him to make him work in teams. And granted, it's early. I kind of thought Steppenwolf wasn't that great when I first played him. Boy, was I wrong on that one. So I know
That's
that's
true.
That's fair.
We'll give you a little more time and come back and revisit and see if you still
Yeah,
not feeling the Martian Manhunter.
I mean, I'm Poison Ivy, and granted, he's not really my play style. I'm not crazy about.
Yeah, the whole Swiss Army kit doesn't really fit your playstyle. You're more of a hit him in the face really hard.
Well, I love Red Robin, so he's Robin's probably one of the most frustrating people to play against too.
Red Robin makes up for having extra attacks
Yeah,
outside of his turn. So, whereas Manhunter is all about that call assist on his basics. So, one thing I will point out though is that he actually has his basic as special damage, and then his 3 is the physical damage. So he's kind of the reverse of Hal Jordan in that aspect.
yeah, that's interesting. And he, I think later on is more if there's another way to copy buffs outside of just Poison Ivy, or some way to give awareness where he starts with it without having to be leader. I think there could be a place for him, or if they do something with stuns and assists, where you can maximize it a little better. So I feel like he's one of those characters that we may not see a ton of early, but later on you might see some heavy
Right.
play with the right character being released. It's like Mirror Master was okay, but he wasn't a super exciting character until Clayface came
Then
out.
Clayface came out.
Yeah. Okay.
So I could see it. Like I said, he's not a terrible character by any means. He's interesting, but he's not quite what I was hoping he'd be. Some people.
Yeah, I think people were expecting a striker of some sort, honestly, and I don't think that he's definitely not that when you look at him in reality. Like the way that they did the awareness for him, being his representation for his ability to phase, I like that. So
one thing I think could work, and I haven't played with it, is that he is a character that might be useful with some of the older revive characters that help you win matches that may be a little out of your weight class. He's not going to be like a Deathstroke Lobo was, but I think he might buy you enough time if you have 2 hard hitters, like 1 or 2 gear 11s, and then he's gear 10, and then you have a gear 10 reviver. Kind of buy you time.
I think like a Grundy would fit real well.
I was
there,
just gonna say,
80% meter.
That's what I've been seeing on Reddit is Grundy with him.
Yeah, so if you see him with
Grundy
Grundy,
has that. I was gonna say he has that taunt to allow him to die a little easier, and then he also can gain the 80% turn meter when he revives. So I mean,
or even stupid Baby Lobo, which I hate to say it, but he actually
Oh boy,
might.
don't you do it?
Well, he only can revive 3 times, so he might.
That's true.
He might be able to be a bridge for you if you're running a hard hitting character to kind of help you.
I'm editing that out of this audio, so it's going to start back up right here.
it's just Lobo, not Baby Lobo. We're not talking about this Baby Lobo crap no more.
Yeah, exactly. A Daddy Lobo would be good too, though, because I mean, he actually can absorb the hits, and then when he revives, he still helps out Manhunter. So.
Well, the thing is when they revive, they actually get the awareness from his leadership too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That would be he's already taking him
Lobo
strong,
can already take a beating. Having him have a couple of awareness just makes him even harder.
Yeah, and I was thinking too, when Constantine drops, him with Martian Manhunter and a reviver might actually be a better team. So I gotta wait to see and play with him with Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you also have like Etrigan, who gains True Sight when a character revives. So maybe Martian Manhunter actually semi-counters Etrigan.
I think Etrigan probably would destroy him, but
well, I'm just saying, like, the fact that he gains the True Sight whenever a character revives, and then Martian Manhunter passes out an awareness to everybody.
Right.
So it semi nullifies part of Etrigan's kit, at least. I'm not saying it's a hard counter or nothing, obviously. I'm just, it definitely plays into that, what they were trying to do, I think. You got to have those checks and balances, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So, I mean, I think Martian Manhunter fits into one of those roles where he definitely checks and balances a couple of characters. Real quick, before I forget.
Go ahead.
I forgot to mention this in the last episode. Shout out to LootBoy9000. He's actually the one who came up with what I was referencing from the last episode where we kind of figured out the power ratings for characters and where they come from.
I was going to mention, too, on the Lord of Unliving event, a lot of people have been asking me.
Is that permanent?
No. We already talked about that. The fastest team to run it, I originally said, was Wonder Woman, DOJ, Siren, CAGA, and Reverse Flash. On the 4th node, that is true. It still is. But I did a bunch of testing on comps for the last one. And because Deathstroke is first, actually the Black Adam Reverse Flash combo, just using the 2, is faster. I can do it in 41 seconds with those 2.
Jeez.
And when I run it with the other team, it takes 1 whole minute. So now the last node is actually just as fast. So it's better to do the last node with Black Adam and Reverse Flash if you have them.
Nice. All right, Ogre, thank you for joining us again this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, Hate Mail, you got any change?
What do you need change for?
I want to go to the store and buy a candy bar.
So fat. Hey man, why don't you take that money and use it on something with a lot more value?
Like, what could I get for $1?
You could become a patron of We RRR Legends and get a free bonus episode every month.
Really? That sounds so valuable.
You will even get extended interviews and blooper reels. Maybe from this skit even.
That sounds swell. I'm going to sign up today. But seriously, do you have a candy bar laying around? All right, joining us now is the infamous Super HarleyQuinn. First question we had is, we'd like to get to know you a little better, and how long have you been playing DC Legends?
I think it was February when it came out, because Robin was the character, the login character, and I didn't get all of his fragments, so it was sometime in February, I think. So about like over a year.
Did you play in the beta?
I did not. I didn't even know about it. I don't even know how I found it. I probably found it by searching DC Honestly or something, or Harley Quinn in the phone apps.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really a big phone game player.
Right.
But I found this game and I can't stop playing it. And it's got me through some personal things that happened.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like a constant. My mom passed away
Oh, man.
suddenly in
Sorry.
July, so this has been like a constant thing that I kept doing just to have something. So
Gotcha.
as well.
I think
I definitely can relate.
I was going to say, I think Hate can relate with that. He's been using it while his fight with cancer that he obviously has been talking about in the community. So
Yeah, I saw
It's a
the
good
dog.
distraction.
Sorry
Good.
about that.
yeah, very good distraction. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where did you come up? I mean, obviously Harley Quinn, but Super Harley Quinn. Why did you decide that would be your name for the game?
Well, on PlayStation, I was trying to find a Harley Quinn name, and I'm not one to put a whole bunch of numbers in my name.
Right.
So, and I couldn't find a Harley Quinn that didn't have a whole bunch of numbers, so I put Supergirl because I was reading it at the time, and I liked the comic at the time, and then my initials. So then, and I found out I could make another name, as silly as it sounds, on PlayStation. So I have 2 names on PlayStation. One's Harley Quinn and one's Supergirl related. And so I kind of put that together when I was playing on here for my game name. So
It works. I like it. Currently in the game, who would you say is your favorite character?
and it's Harley Quinn Mad Jester.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
That's
strong,
an easy
too.
one.
The Quite Vexing one's good too, but she's not as, I don't know, she hits hard and she can call assists, but MJ can actually like take damage, can take the focus off of somebody else if they are about to die, things like that. So, and then she can also reason is like she'll hit somebody if they miss her after she does her taunt, like
Sure.
if you choose to do her taunt. So,
Sure.
and because Harley Quinn's my favorite DC character, so
I couldn't
ever
tell.
since the animated series. So.
That's actually where she came about, was the animated series. That's her origin.
Yeah,
Paul
I remember
Dini.
watching random episodes when I was little. Yeah, and then liking that character, and then I never saw much of her after that, and then she became popular, and
Mhm.
I'm kind of glad she became popular because then now there's so much stuff and comics and
Oh, yeah.
movies and things now.
Yeah.
I know you're the leader of your own alliance, correct?
Yeah.
So what did you think of this alliance event, the big push that was last week, and then how they rolled it out this week, and then the more controversial the
yeah, I
pack
know
that was
what
released?
No, it was, I mean, I knew we're going to try to get in the top 100 because sometimes we're kind of close. I mean, within like 15, but we never have gotten there. Maybe eventually someday. But during that time, we were like, I think 135 the whole entire time. But it was fun though, because everyone in my alliance was talking and actually, communicating and pushing to try to get the fragments. Like a big chunk of people were, a lot more people were active.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What did you think about them releasing the $99 pack in the middle of it?
What should I say about that? That was, I mean, I knew they were going to do something like that, but I didn't know they were going to do it that soon.
Yeah, that upset a lot of the top alliances. As you
and they did say that it would be the first chance, so I don't know why they released it so soon, because you're going to have your first chance to play around with the character.
Right.
If you get the top 100, it's like more fragments so you can play around with the character, so I don't know why they released it so soon.
Yeah, I think that was the general consensus. People weren't upset that they released a pack because we kind of all expected it, but it was just so soon.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was expecting Constantine, honestly, first. Like I was telling somebody on there, I'm still waiting for that pack. So.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably see it next week, would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I understood that they were going to release, but I figured, like they'd wait the whole week of doing the fragments. Like I had no problem with them doing the fragments for earning them, throughout the week.
Yeah, and they even said that in the announcement, so we expected that, but we didn't.
Yeah, I know why people are mad.
Yeah, our alliance was miffed, and then the super top alliance that went crazy. I would definitely be highly upset if I was them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have released it so soon. I mean, I know it's actually, I guess if they have big, it costs a lot to get the character up, though, with buying them, but I don't know.
That event had to have been a lot. I know, just from personal.
Yeah, I know.
It was way more expensive.
Yeah, I put a little bit of money into it, but I figured but I tried.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of the new characters? Have you gotten to test any of the new ones, Etrigan, or I don't know if you maxed or geared Martian Manhunter at all?
Etrigan is actually really good, and like John, I was talking to John on the thing, and he's like, well, if he doesn't hit hard, then he will when you get him higher, and he has started to hit harder now that I have him higher, but I kind of stopped, and I'm trying to get Constantine and Martian Manhunter, even though I don't have enough Constantine fragments to do anything, because the whole event, like, I wasn't paying attention to PvP, and...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's hard to concentrate on both.
So I didn't get as many fragments as I would have liked of Constantine. So I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. I'm waiting on the pack.
Martian Manhunter, I played with him a little bit. I like his shape-shifting ability. I like to get him up. I keep buying the packs when they pop up on my thing, so...
Yeah, and I would think that they'd probably leave that in there for a good while, so... Because they swapped out, I think it was Superman for him, so...
Yeah.
I would expect... Hopefully he stays in there for a good while.
I would hope so.
Is at the same time, it's like, I get it, and they're trying to push alliances, but then now, from here on out, how do we... You know what I mean? How do we get him? I mean, yeah, they're going to do this fragment thing, and then obviously sell them in the store, but is that the... You know what I mean? Like, when is...
Yeah, there's a few characters I feel like Terra, they've done like one sale since I've been back, and then what is it, Vixen Hate that I've never even seen. I didn't even know she was a character.
She was just in the shop. Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah, she was just in the shop for cheap not too long ago.
I missed that.
But there's a couple of them like Suicide Squad Deadshot.
He's another one.
Yeah.
So,
I still don't have hardly any shards of him.
I think Martian Manhunter's probably going to go that way eventually. Like the good thing is they're kind of flooding it right now, so you can get it if you can, and then it probably will dry up, I would imagine, at some point. But is there any kind of future content that you're really looking forward to seeing, or something that you would like to see added to the game?
I want to see... I'm just still waiting on my comic book store to call me, but I still want to know like more of the story, I guess. So more, maybe the legendary thing, or the level 80 thing that they keep talking about.
The purple thing in the corner.
Yeah, because Joker, actually, I was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said something." Because I was like, "Well, the book and this," and he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it." Like things, but it's just like. And then he pointed me in another direction, so... And, I don't know, I'm interested in that, and I'm interested in, I guess, more story, more campaign and more story about the whole, the story of the game, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Yeah, you want to see the storyline expand, move forward. How about new mechanics? Any new mechanics you'll see eventually added to the game?
New mechanics, like...
Yeah, Yeah, like awareness came out, and then now they have the
Oh,
first
yeah.
or anything along those lines. You're kind of hoping to see.
Well, I like that that's controversial. I like that they're trying to change things and make things work and make more characters more viable. Like Jessica Jones, for example. Like I like the reworks. Like some people are like,
You mean Jessica Cruz?
or sorry,
Somebody's been on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been actually watching that. Sorry.
So have I. It's actually really good.
Green Lantern. Not the anyway. Because I can put her like I barely have her up, and she hits really. I mean, she's protects the team really well still. Like she doesn't instantly go down. I guess I don't know. More characters starting with like a base, if that makes any sense. Like a base, like they're okay inherently when they're low, but like in order to get them really, you know what I mean? Like some people you can just one shot kill. Like if you put them in there, like okay, why am I using this? Like
Yeah, you want people to have some kind of
want to
protection.
level them up and like okay, this isn't working for me. Like, that makes any sense? Like
So you don't like the characters that have to ramp up to get effective. You like more of a start off
yeah,
strong.
like the starting base of like oh that's cool and I want it to happen more often or I want to you know what I mean like or you know what I mean build on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the thing I did like about Jessica Cruz is that she was unlike Deathstroke. She started off decent. You don't
Sure.
have to have people die.
Plus, I mean, with the alliances making us have to do this, I mean, making us, but you know what I mean, if you want points, having those characters and using those characters you don't normally use, it'd be nice if they weren't just fodder, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think now that the changes to Deathstroke, you're going to see a lot less of that because I think that was the go-to was just plug Deathstroke in as lead and
Broken Lobo, and yeah, I saw, yeah.
Yep, and then you just plug in whatever the flavor of the week is or the day rather, and go do your PvP and get your points. But now I think you're starting to see, like you said, more of a variety of PvP and a lot more characters being used. Though might be moving towards the Jessica Jones. Board.
Yeah.
I did it now. Jessica Cruz. I gotta go finish watching that now. You got me
I do
thinking about it.
I haven't even
remember.
started it yet.
Oh, it's good.
That was good.
Oh, it's Marvel. Stay away.
Those Netflix shows are so
They are
do them
good. They're so dark. I love them.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything in particular you want to plug or talk about while we got you here?
Well, I used to be really like diligent about like my gaming channel, and then what happened with my mom. I'm trying to get back into it. So I guess if you want to watch me play video games, it's Super HarleyQuinn, just like it is on the game or on the forums. It's just Super HarleyQuinn, one word.
On YouTube or on
Twitch?
On YouTube.
YouTube? Okay.
I tried Twitch and I don't know. I haven't gotten into it. But...
I'll check you out on YouTube. Very cool. Do you just play DC Legends or do you play other games as well?
It's actually mostly other games. I've tried to record some DC Legends, but like I have to use the app. Like in the game, it's just sometimes.
Well, Hate Mail may be able to help you with that some.
Yeah, do you use iOS or do you use Android?
Android.
Okay, Android is supposed to be really easy to live stream because I know.
Live stream. I haven't even tried the live stream. I did the.
Yeah, if you download the live stream app, it works. I mean, that's how Jalapeno records everything, just on that one simple app.
Yeah, I noticed his was more smooth than the typical one. It seemed like to me anyway, or it looked better.
I'm on iOS, and it's there's a big convoluted process, but Duluth, he records, and his come out pretty good. So I was actually going to do it today, and then I just ran out of time. So maybe next weekend I'm going out of state, but maybe the weekend after I'm going to play my hand at live streaming.
Ooh.
But it's
yeah, I have a lot of. I wish I had a way to record Gotham City Imposters, but it's a lot of Destiny and
Oh.
what else do I have on there? I just started playing Overwatch. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. But
yeah, I play that.
Yep. Yep. We play Overwatch. So what Destiny? You playing Destiny 1 or 2?
2. I started with 1.
Yeah.
Because I went from Gotham City Imposters on my PS3. Like, that was my first online game, pretty much. And then I pretty much got my PlayStation 3 because I had a PS2, and I was like, I don't really need the PS3. And then I saw that game, and I was like, I want to play that Bats versus Jokers game. And then from there, I met a whole bunch of people, and then we moved once the servers went down for that game. Well, it's more like the matchmaking system went out of business or whatever, so you can't play it anymore on PS3. So we moved over to Destiny, and now I play Destiny 2. It's just been a minute since my mom died, but
yeah,
it's just getting back into life.
Sure, absolutely. All right, well, we really appreciate your time, and definitely going to check out your channel.
Well, thanks very much for coming on. We appreciate having you.
Okay.
Well, Brennan, you certainly have had a lot of jobs.
I'm a bit of a spark plug and human resources lady.
Oh, you know, it's Pam.
I'm sorry. Well, Pan.
No, my name is Pam.
Are you saying Pan or Pam?
I'm saying Pam. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who is this gentleman sitting behind you?
Hello, Ms. Lady. I'm Dale. I'm Brennan's stepbrother, and I think I might be able to help with the Pan-Pam dilemma.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Pam.
Pam. Oh, no.
Pam.
Pan.
Hi. Sorry, I'm nervous.
Oh, that's okay.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah, we can edit anything in and out, so don't worry about that. So,
Yeah.
Ogre.
Likes to talk about you guys a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, sometimes I need his help in the game.
Oh, you do play?
Yeah, I do play.
Oh,
Quite a
nice.
bit, actually.
how long you been playing?
Cool.
Let's see.
Well, let's do this correctly. First of all, what's your name in the game?
Well, my username is like Hipster Lord, and it has a bunch of numbers after it.
Okay.
So, like,
Have you been playing as
I
long
should
as
probably tell you right now.
you've been playing? Yeah, we've all been. I actually play while we do this too.
Yeah.
Have you been playing as long as Ogre?
Actually, like maybe a month or two less. Like, he started playing it, and then like I would watch over his shoulder, and I'd be like, "Oh, that actually kind of looks kind of interesting. I should probably try that."
That's cool.
Who's your favorite
Yeah.
character in the game?
Well, right now my favorite is it's kind of like I'm torn between Zatanna and Enchantress.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how they are. I like the healing aspect of them.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, I usually have
Ogre.
help me out with like team building stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because like,
Oh yeah,
Right
he's really
now,
good
like-
at that.
oh yeah, like my main team right now is Harley Quinn, Mad Jester, the Enchantress, Zatanna, and Hal Dorn, Green Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we gotta have you on for our next interview.
Yeah, I'm interviewing her right now.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
what DC hero would you want to see added to the game? Is there anyone that you would want to see, or
Just so you know, he really is interviewing right now to save for a future interview for the show when we're short on time.
Well, there's a major spectrum. Jeez.
yeah? It's a tough question. If you can't answer it, it's okay.
Like most of the ones that I've wanted, like, just came out. Like,
Ogre.
when he went down to the Warner Brothers thing, I was like, you suggest Constantine before we ever even knew, because we had just started watching DC Legends, the Justice League Dark.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, ooh,
Constantine's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
yeah, he is. Like, one of the ones that I probably would suggest would probably be from the Arrow universe, would be like someone like Speedy.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. Like, I have a thing for archers.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Like, she just kind of stands out the most to me. Like,
Ogre.
and I just binge watched the season 5 of Arrow.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we
Like-
both watch Arrow as well, off and on. Those shows, Arrow, Flash, and all that. Some seasons are really good, and other seasons I feel like they just kind of lose it. But we tend to watch them.
Yeah, season 5 had a lot of filler in it. I think they could have done a little bit better with it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
but,
like that one better than some of the other seasons. This new season that's been out has not been great.
Oh, really? I haven't got a chance to see it yet. I have to wait until it comes out on Netflix.
I've struggled with this new season.
Yeah. I'm looking for the next season of Flash.
That one's been good.
Yeah, what season are you on?
Well, we just finished, I want to say season 3. It's whatever's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I want to say season 3 is on Netflix because I think they're on season 4 right now.
Yeah,
CW.
it started after Arrow, so I know they're behind Arrow, so that would make sense.
Yeah, I like their crossover episodes, how they tie in like Flash and the Arrow and
and Supergirl.
That last crossover
how they
was
did
really
Supergirl.
cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it has been pretty neat. I like that as well when they do the crossover stuff.
Yeah, it's more entertaining because you get to like see more along the lines like you see one episode and you're like, I wonder what's happening everywhere else, and then they just kind of show you.
Oh yeah,
which is really neat.
Have you gotten to play Etrigan yet?
Actually, I have him at Legendary 1 right now.
Nice.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm just now starting to use him. Like his gear set on there right now, like he's kind of slow going because I don't like have a whole lot of the materials.
Right.
And like it's a challenge to farm for materials because like sometimes like depending on like what node you're on, you like don't get any once or like you get a ton of next. Very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a very exciting and thrilling experience.
And if you don't mind, we'll probably use your interview for one of our future episodes.
I mean, to be fair, when
Ogre.
I first met, that's how I knew him as was Ogre.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like our meeting was like an oddball meeting, to be honest.
Actually, you gotta tell us that story real quick so we can add that in.
Yeah. So I had just started college, and I had like a really close friend named Tyrone. May he rest in peace. But so like I was in the middle of a conversation with him and another friend, and he happened to just wander off. And I'm like, okay, he usually does that. And next thing I know, this big, tall guy picks me up, flips me over, and just walks off. And I'm like holding on for dear life. I'm like, what the hell are you? And what are you doing?
He's a real ogre. He just stole her.
Like literally, just in mid-sentence, just picked me up and just ran off. And I'm like clawing to his leg for dear life. I'm like, don't drop me, don't drop me, don't drop me, because I'm upside down.
Wow.
And then from there on, we became like really good friends, and like I started working at a like security company. I'm like, hey, you should probably try and apply. And then one thing led to another, and here we are now.
That's great.
That's an awesome story.
That is something that you can never forget. Just a random stranger picking you up and running off.
Yeah.
That is definitely next week's interview.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny story.
That's great.
What did he say?
You act like one. Did you guys want to talk to him?
Sure, please.
Sure.
Thank you
All right.
again.
Here you guys go.
Thank you.
All right, now that she's completely tarnished my reputation.
Dude, you're a real Ogrebarberian. I had no idea. That's amazing.
Yes, I really am.
You just go pick up. I go pick girl. My girl now.
Okay, so the part of the story that she didn't get to tell you. Tyrone and I both have ADHD.
Okay.
Right. So I was on a really, really high ADHD flare that day. Normally I can control it fairly well, but that day I could not. So he walks over to me and says, "Hey, you should go flip her upside down." I'm like, "But I don't know her." He's like, "I do. It's okay." I'm like, "You sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." I'm like, "Okay."
Nice. That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, that is how we met.
Well, she is now our interview for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-recorded.
Mrs. Barbarian is going to be introduced to the entire gaming community. Or at least the ones that listen to us.
It's a good enough portion.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I got to get to work.
Yeah, thanks, Ogre.
No problem, guys.
Do you like the show? Consider becoming a patron and get a special show each month, our special Q&A episode. It's only $1 to have access to this. Check it out at patreon.com, WeRRRLegends.
Thanks for listening. You're not going to say anything?
We are legends.